What third party would I use? Buttercup, MAP, PREREG Short Court, PRM, PharmaSense, the PREREG Pharmacist, Greenlight Campus, ProPharmace, PharmEducate, Team PREREG Room, Keele University, Kingston University, Lancaster University, Boots, RPS, Sunderland University, Portsmouth University, Reading University, NPA, Bradford University, Huddersfield University, Newcastle University, UEA. Hello. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is PREREG EXAM. So today I'll be talking about how to select a good third or second party for your revision for GPHC PREREG exams. This is actually a very important topic for me because if you've watched my video about how I failed PREREG exams 2 times, if you haven't actually, my link or the link is down below or somewhere in this video. Please click it, watch it, and you know why this is so important to me. I'll be sharing in details in my videos saying my third attempt, how I studied, and actually mentioning exactly which third party or second party I used, or if I did not use any, and the reasons why. So this one is just to give a bit of information and arm me with knowledge, because when I started trying to study for my exams, it felt all so confusing. I was like, okay, which one do I use? Do I join a WhatsApp group? How many WhatsApp groups do I join? Training providers, which one? How much am I going to spend? What's my budget? What am I doing? Am I working? I'm not working. So lots and lots of questions I was asking myself. I spent a bit of time researching these things. I kept on hearing of new ones, old ones, great ones, not so great ones, seeing reviews that may be true or not true. So yeah, this video is for you if you're in that stage right now trying to decide and try not to spend so much money, or maybe you have so much money to spend but it's good to spend it wisely. If you need one third party revision provider, or you don't need one, so this would actually help you decide. So you know, with the change of the exam formats, there was an influx of trainee providers promising you stuff and everything lovely and great. So yes, let's say you're sitting the GPHC exam, your first attempt, your second attempt, your third attempt, and you're like, I need to pass, I need to pass, I need to pass. Obviously that's the aim of everything else. I mean, you spend so much years in university, hard work and everything, so this is just one final barrier till you get to that position of being qualified in the UK and your degree making sense in quotes and everything. So obviously you want to pass and you're looking for assistance everywhere, and there's a promise of 100% pass rate, money back guarantee, which I'm like, okay, obviously I want to pass, so definitely I don't want my money back. But anyways, then you have the free site as well. All well and good, but with that free site, how reliable is that information? Is it trustworthy? Are the contents of that website actually what you need, or is it just free stuff of babbles and of pharmacy babbles and whatnot? Is it actually related to what you need for the exams? Let's say it's your first attempt. I mean, it's very easy to get to a stage of desperation during these exams. Trust me, I know. During these exams preparation, because you're like, oh my god, I really need to pass. Especially if you're in your second attempt or third attempt, you're like, whatever it takes. And those are the kind of people that I believe sometimes it may seem like it's targeted towards, because you know that you really need, or you think that you really need help, because I mean, probably you've tried the first time a different way. Maybe you didn't use any training providers, maybe you didn't do any mocks, maybe you weren't on any WhatsApp group, or maybe you were on maybe few or one. And so the second attempt or third attempt, you're like, oh my goodness, I do need help and whatnot. But this video is to say, calm down, relax, have a think. You might need, you might not need. And hopefully actually you've gotten a chance to watch my video on how I studied for my first attempt, second attempt, and hopefully soon I'll be getting into detail, like I mentioned earlier, about my third attempt, how I studied, what I did, comparing the providers I chose, the reason I chose them, the pros and the cons, really nitty-gritty of everything you need to know. So what is the first thing that you need to think of? Obviously, costs. How much is this going to cost you? During your pre-reg year, you're trying to save, maybe. You're trying to get the best out of it. You don't really want to spend so much, but so there are these providers all over the place promising you stuff and so many juicy things. But you have to think, how much would it cost you? Is it costing you a neck, an arm, a face and everything or whatnot? Or is it costing you less? And is that less actually needful? 2, does it follow the GPHC framework? You see, because in as much as they have these mock papers, they have this trainee providers, they have this bank of questions, WhatsApp groups, everybody's sharing stuff that may appear useful. All questions aren't useful questions. All mock exams aren't useful mock exams. Examples or whatever, or WhatsApp groups discussing questions aren't useful. I have an example of a question that obviously doesn't win. You're less likely to see because it's not the GPHC framework. Example, there was one about the drug tariff. Over and over again, I saw mock papers containing stockings, the pricing, contraceptive, how much would it cost and whatnot. That never comes up. So that's for the second. Always cross-check and go over your GPHC framework before you actually decide which mock you're going to do, which training provider you're going to use, which WhatsApp group. But I think for the mock exams, it's really hard to really tell what sort of questions they would ask. So that being said, because this mock providers or this trainee providers have been around for a few years since after they changed the format, I think a few actually came on before that, you would do yourself good to go through previous years and see the pattern of how they set their questions, which ones are like obviously not following the GPHC framework. 3, what do you want to gain? I know like Ambi, is obvious and everything, but what exactly do you want to gain from this? You want to pass, good, that's a great gain. But in the process of learning, in the process of being trained by these people, what do you want to gain? Is it get the information and move on? But sometimes all the information they throw at you isn't a gain, it's actually a loss. So what exactly do you want to gain? What is your weak point? Have you weighed your weak point? That's the next point I'll be going to. How much time do you have? That's number 4. So number 3 was, what do you want to gain? Number 4, how much time do you have? Are you at the start of your revision? Are you in the middle of your revision or towards the end? Maybe you have a few months to your exams. Are you taking the June exams or the September exams? How many months do you have to the exams and whatnot? So it depends on where you are. You actually do not have time to carry all these groups along, carry all the training providers along, carry all the mocks along. Obviously they're so expensive if you have to do every single one of them. So how much time do you have? Something you should consider. If you're at the beginning, perhaps you can get away with maybe 2 training providers, but I don't really think so. But for mocks, if you're in the beginning, definitely you have lots and lots of time to sort of go through. But towards the end, maybe 1 month to the exams, I would say choose your mocks wisely. Choose the mocks you're going to do. I know towards the end there's usually little or no mock exams left to take physically, but there are always links with lots and lots of papers from different years. You can't really do all of them. You'll be leaving yourself in a sort of panic situation if you're trying to do all of them. So if you're in the beginning, it's easier to spread out your mock papers through the past mock papers, the ones you'll be going physically to attend as well. If you're in the middle, you can do a few. The training providers, some of them offer 3 months, 6 months, I think a few a year. Usually 3 months is okay, I believe. That's if you really need a third party help. So that takes me to my fifth point. Do you really need another help do you actually need this? So how are you sure you need this help? How are you sure, what did you do to come to this conclusion that you need help? Me personally, how I came to a conclusion I'll discuss in my next video. So how did you decide? Maybe your friend actually sat for the first or second time or third time, used a third party, a second party, and he passed or she passed. Maybe your friend actually used and did not pass. I actually know of some few people that used a third party or second party help and it wasn't as they expected. Or maybe your friend first attempt or second attempt or third attempt did not use any and they passed, especially for the first attempters. But I should remind you that these exams are specific to you. You can't assume that you're on the same level as your friend, as your classmates, your mates and whatnot. So it's always good to weigh your knowledge, where you stand, especially as well when choosing what exam to sit. I think I addressed that in other videos stating how to study, or how I studied for my first and second attempts and whatnot. So how did you weigh it? How did you come to the conclusion that you actually need one or you do not need one? So that's something to think about. The next part I'll be addressing is the WhatsApp groups. There are lots and lots of WhatsApp groups. Those groups sometimes are breeding grounds for anxiety, tension, fear, desperation and whatnot. So please weigh your heart. That's another thing. Weigh your heart and see how strong-minded you are, because there'll be a point in those WhatsApp group that you feel like, oh my goodness, I've not done anything, oh my goodness, I've not studied, oh my goodness, do I have much time, oh my goodness, what am I doing, oh my goodness, I can't sit it, oh my goodness, I don't know anything. So it's best before you join a WhatsApp group, you know the reason you're joining is just like the training providers, the mock providers, why you're joining the WhatsApp group for the exams and the benefits of those WhatsApp group as well. Is it just for noise? Is it going to keep you calm? Know when to join, know when to leave, and if you need to leave, know when to speak, or if you do not need to speak, when to contribute and whatnot. So for the WhatsApp groups, noise, is it beneficial? When to join, when to exit. Me personally, I'll just give an example, especially for the WhatsApp group. I stayed to the end. I joined 2 different groups, but the same provider of the group. I think June sitting and September sitting of Barbara's group, I was in both of them, but I was sitting September. It did feed my anxiety and got me scared a few times, I would not lie, but I had to stay to the end because it was really helpful. So weigh how helpful it is, compare it to how distressing it makes you feel, or distressed it makes you feel. Weigh that as well. So yeah, that's it, and leave some comments below if you know of anyone at all or that I didn't mention in this video, or I didn't put up their names and whatnot. But all the best in your exams, and please be careful with trainee providers, WhatsApp groups and mock providers, those 3, because you don't want to, like I said, spend all your money trying to get help when you can actually help yourself, in quote. You don't want to spend your whole sleepless night trying to talk yourself out of anxiety concerning WhatsApp groups. You don't want to go to all these mocks and they're not in line with the GPHC framework. That's a waste of time, people. But thank you so much. Please look out for my video concerning a very detailed explanation of how I prepared for my 3rd attempt, the people I actually used, and the pros and the cons, and how helpful I found them. But yeah, till next time, thank you so much for watching, guys.